Okay. Hi, Israel.
Hello, good day.
Jose. Hello. Right. Let's begin our
Yeah.
little adventure for the year 2020. Um, I'm
Well,
very pleased. Yes.
for the end of it anyway.
Yes. End of it, actually. Yeah. It feels like the beginning, going back to the beginning.
Most certainly.
Anyways, here we are, end of the year event. Like every year, we have the East West a days event. But
Yes,
this year has been a little bit of an exception because we are going to have a 3-day conference,
most
out of
definitely.
which the last day is going to be
Yes.
co-sponsored by the Astrological Lodge of London.
Hmm.
And we have a packed a program, over 15 speakers
Wow.
spread over 3 days.
Hmm.
And the main conference, Friday, December the 4th, will be inaugurated by Pandit Sanjay Rath, my Jyotish Guru.
Yes.
And he will be speaking, keeping in line with the theme of mental illness, mental health, mental well-being, which is a greatest of wealth, which is greatest of Shri. So
Yes.
he will be speaking about, social deviant behavior versus actual mental illness or madness,
Yes.
which is going to be very interesting. I'm sure he'll be tackling a range of serious mental health issues
Yes.
through the agency of Jyotish.
Yes.
And then we have, of course, Sarbani Rath, his wife,
Yes.
and also my Jyotish Gurvi,
Yes.
speaking on the Jyotish of food,
Yes.
what we consume, what is good for you. Being a Gemini rising, at least Saiti really is not going to
Yeah.
be
Yes. Yeah.
necessarily.
Most definitely. Most
I know
definitely.
you hate your chilies.
Yeah.
I can never get over it. For somebody who's from, Africa, to hate chilies is
Yeah.
like,
I don't know.
what?
I think
I
that's
love,
my. I think that's my mangal in the eighth house or something. I don't know. It's
no, and
fighting
I'm
against it.
and I'm Mangal Ketu rising, and I love chili's food. But
Right.
then chili food, spicy food is signified by the Surya,
Yeah.
because the flavor of chili is Surya as
Right.
well,
Yeah. Yeah.
not
Yeah.
just
Of
Mangal.
course.
So yeah,
Yeah,
so
no,
it's
definitely,
interesting.
definitely. That's
Yeah,
that's definitely going to be an interesting talk. I'm really looking forward to that. It really matches up, and it really, is really integrated into what the whole conference essentially is about, because it's centered around wealth and mental illness. So I think it's very important that people should know how food and the things that we consume, that we put in our body, affects our well-being. It
yeah,
affects our mental health. How also as well that the food that we eat is a reflection of our wealth as well, and I think that's also very important also as well,
yeah,
because we have to understand that we eat according to what we can quote unquote afford, or which is our wealth. If I can afford to shop at Selfridges or Marks and Spencers or Sainsbury's or Tesco's, depending on my earning capacity, depending how much money I've got, depending
yeah.
on my wealth. So that's very, very crucial, and I think Sabani Rath is really going to be giving us something exceptionally profound in that talk. So that's a talk I'm
Absolutely.
really looking forward to.
Absolutely. And the other thing is, then we have another, followed by, Sarban, sorry, after Sarbani, we have Paul, I think, or
Paul, yeah,
Andrew.
we got Paul Barker and
Yeah,
Andrew Foss. Yes,
absolutely.
yeah,
And I'm very thrilled because with Paul, it's going to be a very practical numerology,
yeah,
spiritual numerology. He's been doing this for years and years. So that's going to be quite illuminating.
yes.
Um, and especially the master numbers like 11, 22,
22,
33,
23.
44. That's all the sort of like a series,
Yeah, yeah,
and I mean, it's surprising how there's a lot of connection between those numbers and
yes.
your birth chart.
Oh, most
um,
definitely.
yeah,
Because as we know, numbers are vibrations, they are energy. Each number carries a particular vibration and energy. So it's very important to know how each number also is actually resonance with a particular planet, also with astrology, and how it's relevant to us as human beings. We were all born on a particular day, a particular month, a particular year. So all these are numbers. We are surrounded by numbers. You know, as Einstein said, the whole universe is made up of numbers.
Numbers, I know, absolutely. Then we have Andrew Foss on art and emotions, which
Brilliant.
is, absolutely brilliant.
Speaker,
so, you know, very creative. I mean, he's also Gemini rising, so it's going to be, you know, and he's the creator of the Shri Jyoti Star.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to point out that, you know, we can, you know.
I think there is something about the Gemini Lagna energy, you know, highly creative in nature.
No, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's the sign ruled by Mercury. So it's the thinker, it's the one working with ideas and the problem solving and the communication kind of thing. So yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Excellent. And then we move on to the second day of that is Saturday, December the 6th. And we have opening chants of Shani mantras by Nathan Theodore Niker. So he'll be doing approximately 20 minutes of the Shani mantras. Any kind of Shani affliction, they are highly beneficial. So that will be very positive. Then we have our star, one of the key stars for Ayurveda, which is Advait Tripathi. He came last year. He did a lot of pulse reading. In the parampara I follow, one of the quite a few students from my Jyotish parampara.
Yes.
Advait works very closely with them. So Advait, Dr. Advait Tripathi is going to be, he's like, once he starts speaking, you can't stop him.
He is amazing. You know, I vouch that the next trip to India that I'm taking, he is one of the first people that I have to go and see. He is absolutely amazing. His energy is wonderful. Like to just be able to check your pulse or look at you and see what it is, like, you know, what kind of foods affect you, what kind of being you are. He's totally amazing. So for anybody listening, you have to, that's a must for everybody, you know, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we have Ritu Khurana on Vastu, the southeast corner, which is the Agni corner. And so she'll be giving you tips on practical tips on how do you activate your southeast corner. And she is really, she's one of my classmates and a very dear friend. So that'll be very interesting to figure out about your southeast corner, a bit like Feng Shui, but actually it's the big grandfather of Feng Shui.
You know? And I think that is even makes a lot of sense, because the southeast in a way is somewhat, you know, even in the chart will be connected with a particular house, and a house that will be associated with one's wealth or one's gains and things of that nature. So this is going to be a very, very crucial talk, definitely, you know, that I feel that people definitely 100% need to attend to understand how they can maximize that southeast corner and get the most of wealth and you know, out of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, then we have next Babajit Khalita of Exotic Astrology. He has a huge following. If you go to his YouTube channel called Exotic Astrology, I mean, he is very remedial orientated, and he's a really young guy. So he is talking from the point of view of Chandra Lagna and Chandra Trikonas. So from wherever your moon is, he's talking about the Dharma Trikonas, and which is nothing but the Lakshmi Sthana. So I'm sure there will be a lot of tips, you know, coming from the Chandra Trikona.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And I think that's also something, again, you know, it sheds another light from the perspective of the moon, from Chandra being on the Lagna. And again, we know that Vedic astrology is very rich in terms of being able to put certain important points of the chart from the Rashi chart, you know, taking certain points like the Chandra, like the Haruda Lagna, and putting them on the ascendant and looking at the houses from the moon, you know. And we know the moon, again, is again, it's connected with our well-being. It's to do with our mind, our emotions, and things of that nature. So this is all part of, so that, again, I'm looking forward to that talk again. Exceptional speaker. I've heard him speak before.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. I've heard him speak before. He's very good. He's very good.
Okay, excellent. So then we have John Hall on consciousness, intelligence, and narcolepsy.
Yes.
So
now, he's a great speaker. I've heard him speak as well many times. With at Paul Barker's place in Leeds. That's where I first met at the Vedic conference that was held in Leeds last year. I was there, and the year before as well. And he spoke, and a great, excellent speaker. So I'm really looking forward to his talk. He has very great insights. He's a wonderful Jyotish astrologer as well. So I'm really looking forward to definitely his talk in terms of the consciousness and how that affects, again, because this is all aspects of our well-being. When we're talking about well-being, it covers, there's so many layers and so many different facets, our emotional well-being, our physical well-being, our psychological well-being, our financial well-being. This is all connected to well-being as a whole. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that talk. For sure.
And then it's you who's speaking.
And then I will be speaking as well. My talk is going to be on the part of fortune, which is often referred to as an Arabic part, or it's often called an Arabic part. But it's based on the calculation based on the sun and moon and ascendant. And basically the part of fortune shows us where we are subject to gaining the greatest amount of satisfaction, the greatest amount of wealth, things that affect anything that's connected with our physiological surroundings. So that will include money. So I will also be showing you how the part of fortune can also indicate the kind of job or the kind of work that we should be doing, where we can get the maximum amount of wealth from, and how to go about cultivating, because the part of fortune is a part of the chart that has to be cultivated in some kind of way. And once it's cultivated based on where it is in the chart, we get the most out of it. And I'll also be showing you how special houses in relation to the part of fortune can also bring us great advantages in life, great wealth advantages. Again, our well-being, it's all centered around our part of fortune. So that is going to be, again, a talk that's really going in depth and really points to that particular part of your chart and how to use it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, and then we have the closing chants for the day.
Yeah.
And then we come to the day 3rd, which is in which the Astrological Lodge of London has been the co-sponsor. Which is fantastic, and I would highly recommend, if nothing else, if you can't attend, please, if you can just attend the 3rd day, because you will be supporting one of the oldest charitable astrological educational charities on the planet. So that is highly recommended. And that is kicked off with, again, Nathan Theo Naikar on the Surya chants, the sun chanting. I don't know if he will include the Surya Namaskar.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. I'm sure we can get him to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have Julia Seema.
Just to say, his chants, I'm seriously, I've seen him chant quite a few times. They are so soothing. I love the way he chants. There's something about his voice. It takes you into that, into that place for sure. Seriously, there's something about his voice that's so relaxing and so definitely. I encourage everybody listening to please attend it. Don't just think that, oh, it's somebody just making chants and it's or even, even though I don't understand, but it still resonates. It speaks to me. I feel what it is that he is saying. So his chants are, listen, they're really on point. Seriously.
Yeah, I know. I'm just sharing the screen to kind of give a little flavor of,
Yeah.
and their little images. Can you see, Israel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So there we are. There's Julia Seamas after that. And the talk
Yes.
will focus on the cycle of
Venus.
Venus.
Yes.
You know and Julia is busy at the moment conducting a little her own conference. So
Yes.
anyway, but it'll be kind of interesting because her talk on Venus cycles went down really well earlier this year.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to it. She's kind of done a little niche for herself with everything, the astronomy of Venus. So this
Yes.
will be superb. Um, anyway, then we come to Naomi Martin.
Yes.
Um, and she is doing something on
The
the
astrology of
cryptocurrencies.
Bitcoin. Yes.
Absolutely. The
And this
Bitcoin. Yeah.
is something that, yes, I would definitely, I could not stress this anymore. Now Naomi Martin is a great speaker. I've heard her speak lots of times, and she is an expert. She really knows how about how Bitcoin works, because a lot of people don't really know how Bitcoin works. So she's going to be laying down like the fundamentals or the foundation of how Bitcoin actually works. And then on top of that, she's going to be speaking about how the planets, the planetary cycles are influencing aspects of Bitcoin, which allow you, give you an insight, gives you,
Yeah.
10 steps ahead in terms of where to invest, where to put your money, what Bitcoins to buy, and what not to buy at certain planetary, due to certain planetary influences, and how they're affected by retrogrades and so on and so forth. So this is a talk definitely for anybody, especially who's looking to invest their money in particular places like Bitcoin and these other cryptocurrencies. Definitely, this is a talk for you, 100%.
Okay. Now moving forward, we'll have a lunch break and then it comes to me.
It comes to you. You're going to be speaking. Yeah.
Yes. I'm super thrilled. I've been doing this a lot of creating of balms and aromatherapy, and more specifically astrological aromatherapy. I'm still a kind of a perennial student of aromatherapy, and my teacher Jane, she's absolutely phenomenal. The people who are born on like the year of 62 February, when they have a whole massive buildup of planets in Capricorn,
Yes.
sidereal Capricorn,
Yeah,
but
yeah, and Aquarius West. Yes.
Aquarius.
Yeah.
So she's one of those. So she's like a real true blue.
Right.
So in terms of her knowledge, I mean, she's super passionate about it. And my focus predominantly is the Ayurveda behind the oils, because oils has been used for centuries in
Yes,
India.
thousands of years.
And we always, I mean, we have a very specific routine that we are meant to massage ourselves just before at Brahma Muhurta.
Right.
Just before taking a shower, we are like either a sesame oil, a mustard oil, depending on. So I'm going to be delving on what oils are actually conducive to your body type,
Right.
and that will be derived from your Jyotish Kundali, your Jyotish
Yeah.
chart.
Yeah.
And certain planets are like, if you have a very strong Jupiter, exalted Jupiter,
Yeah.
conjoin your moon or your ascendant, you have a kapha kind of personality.
Yeah.
So you need something which is kind of like, a sort of like a martial oil to egg you into action every once in a while.
Yes, most definitely.
And not get too lethargic and too much of eating sweets, because people with a strong Jupiter love their sweets.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
So I will be tackling some of them. So I think it'll be quite interesting. I haven't done this sort of thing before. So anyone who has a little bit of interest in what oils are good for them, I think this will be a good introduction for them.
Most definitely. And I think it can also help also with people who use like maybe oils as like perfumes, for example, especially like in the Arab world, Middle Eastern world, that they have always been using very powerful oils, and they're very in terms of for perfume, strong scents and smells. And I think also this can actually give a lot of information for those people. I know the popular perfumes or the market in the perfumes, the scents, of course, that's all nice, but I think it's quite good so you kind of get a sense of what kind of perfumes are perhaps maybe more better for you that you can
Oh,
use.
absolutely. Like for someone who's got who's a very Capricornian, they would not want to use too much of pure sandalwood, you see, because
Right.
it can have a little bit of a depressive, because the sandalwood essential oil, by and large, has a little bit of a depressive effect on one's moods.
Right.
So, we don't want oils which will kind of lull us into some kind of a negative spiral state, even though it is a fantastic oil for meditation. It's a very sattvic oil, sandalwood oil, and highly regarded and prized in India, but if you can find a really authentic variety. So anyway, moving forward, then we come to Satsri Khalsaji. She is one of the great Jaimini scholars, one of the original Jaimini scholars from that Vedic tradition I follow. And there she's talking about where do they throw the money, politics, and the outcome of the next big race in the US, the Georgia Senate runoffs. And he will be using the nakshatras, transit of the nakshatras, which is nothing but it is seen through the Sarvato Bhadra Chakra, which is like a magical prism. And the beauty of her is she's a fantastic teacher. She's Jupiter on a Scorpio Lagna. So she's a fabulous speaker and a very, very, even beginners in Jyotish will be able to understand her style and the way she delivers. So I would highly recommend her.
This talk really looks good. I think this is going to be very interesting, especially with the case of what's going on in the US at the moment, with the handing over of powers from Donald Trump over to Joe Biden, who will be inaugurated on the 20th of January 2021. So I think this is really going to be interesting because a lot of people want to know about this in terms of the whole Senate runoffs and what's happening there. So this is going to be a good one, definitely.
Absolutely, yeah. Lovely. Then we come to the last talk of the 3-day conference, and the iconic Gary Gomes. He needs no introduction. He is sort of like one of the co-founders, or I think he's also a professor at the Kepler College in America. And he's talking on how wealth and mental health and poverty and ill health states and timing can be seen through Parashari Jaimini and some of the Bhrigu Nadi techniques. So he's going to pack all that in, which is going to be, I think only he can do this, which is kind of very, very Gary Gomes. So I think that'll be quite, quite a finale ending with him.
Definitely.
And then we come to the closing chants, and that will be all. So I think, it's going to be quite a interesting conference, and regarding the booking, there is a discounted rate, concessionary rate. Please check with me, email me in private. My email is everywhere. And specifically for the lodge, the last day of the lodge, which is December the 6th, we do have a specific rate for concessions. But moreover, for the whole conference is the best price ever. You get £96 all 3 days, all recordings included, which is quite a good deal. And if you want only 1 day, a one-off thing to attend live with recordings, with no recordings is 33. And with live recordings, including live attendance, is 42 per day.
It's a really good bargain, actually, especially for the whole conference. To have a whole 3-day conference for £96 is like, seriously, that's like no disrespect to other conferences, but you would be paying at least double that.
Absolutely.
And for the speakers, I mean, we've got top world class, and I'm
Yes.
talking world class gurus, world class astrologers, world class speakers on this. It's so you cannot get a better package deal. Plus, you get all the recordings as well. That is fabulous. It's a deal of the century. Seriously.
You do exaggerate.
Come on, start making your bookings. It's going to be a wonderful conference, I promise you, from start to end.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Israel.
No problem.
And no doubt we will see you
yes,
shortly.
I cannot wait to be giving my talk on the 5th of December.